I was standing in line at a 7-Eleven, my hands shaking as I held the winning ticket. The clerk scanned it, looked at the screen, then at me, and her eyes went wide. This can't be right," she whispered. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel my pulse throbbing in my temples. I had won $36 million in the lottery, with the exact numbers I had chosen 3 months earlier. The same random numbers that made no mathematical sense to anyone. But nobody knew what I had done to get there. Nobody knew about the nights I sat in my empty kitchen, surrounded by overdue bills, practicing something that seemed completely insane. What if I told you it wasn't luck? That it was a conscious choice to shift realities? If you want to understand how this is possible, stay with me until the end. Because what I'm about to reveal in my manifestation story will turn your understanding of reality upside down. And please, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because this story could change your life as much as it changed mine. 6 months before that moment, I was at the absolute lowest point of my life. My name is Sarah. I'm 34 years old, and I was a financial analyst at a company that was sucking the soul out of me. Ironic, right? I managed other people's money while I could barely pay my own bills. I lived alone in a small apartment in a noisy neighborhood. The walls were paper thin. I could hear everything. Neighbors fighting, a dog barking at 3 a.m., the constant rumble of the elevated train passing nearby. My mom called every Sunday asking when I was going to get my life together and find a husband. My friends had stopped inviting me out because I was always either broke or too exhausted. The truth? I was numb. I'd wake up, go to work, come home, eat something frozen, and fall asleep on the couch watching Netflix. Weekends were laundry, cleaning, paying bills, and trying not to panic looking at my negative bank balance. There was something strange that had been happening. Sometimes when I looked in the mirror in the morning, my face seemed different. I can't explain it properly. One day I'd see myself puffy with deep dark circles. The next day, without sleeping any better or doing anything different, my skin would look clearer, my eyes brighter. I chalked it up to lighting variations or imagination, but something inside me knew it was more than that. The day everything fell apart was a rainy Tuesday. I had arrived late to work because the subway broke down. My boss, Richard, called me into his office with that fake smile he always had when he was about to humiliate me. "Sarah, we need to talk about your performance." The smell of stale coffee and paper in his office made me nauseous. He started listing mistakes that weren't even mine, blaming me for systemic problems. I felt my stomach turning, my hands sweating, when he finally said, "We're going to give you one more chance, but we need to see commitment." I just nodded, swallowing my tears. I walked back to my desk with wobbly legs. Juliana at the next desk didn't even look at me. Nobody did. I was invisible there. That night, sitting on my kitchen floor because I didn't even have the strength to make it to the couch, I opened the month's bills. Rent past due. Credit card maxed out. A bank notification warning about accumulated overdraft fees. Tears fell onto the papers, blurring the red numbers. That's when my phone buzzed. It was my mom. "Honey, your cousin's getting married. Are you bringing someone this time or going alone again?" Something broke inside me. I couldn't take being the family's poor thing anymore. The failure. The woman who couldn't even support herself properly. I threw my phone on the couch and started sobbing, alone, with the sound of rain hitting the window and the neighbor's dog barking endlessly. If you've gone through or are going through any of these situations, I need to be honest with you. I discovered that everything I was experiencing was my responsibility and mine alone. I'm not talking about blame, but about realizing that we can manipulate which reality we choose to live in. And that's exactly what I'm going to tell you now. So pay attention, because what I did can change your life too. 3 days later, I was scrolling through random YouTube videos at 2 a.m., trying to shut off the anxiety that wouldn't let me sleep. That's when a recommended video appeared. You can choose to enter the reality where you win the lottery. Bashar. Normally, I would have ignored something like this. It seemed like those superficial law of attraction videos that promise miracles, but something made me click. Maybe desperation, maybe curiosity, maybe because I had nothing left to lose. The voice in the video started explaining something that sounded completely insane. that the future isn't set in stone, that billions of realities are happening simultaneously on the vibrational plane, and that when we play the lottery, we don't need to guess the winning numbers. We need to choose the numbers and then shift to the reality where those numbers are the winners. I paused the video, reread the caption. My heart started beating faster, but not from anxiety. It was something different. It was like a door I didn't even know existed had suddenly opened inside me. The explanation continued. It's not about visualizing in the last second before buying the ticket. It's about feeling like a winner constantly. It's about being on the vibrational frequency of abundance, not lack. It's about following your excitement, your passion, making choices based on what excites you, what makes you feel alive. I watched that video 3 times that night. On the 3rd time, something clicked. Those strange changes in the mirror, that feeling that sometimes everything seemed subtly different. What if I really was shifting realities all the time without realizing it? I decided to test it. Not because I completely believed it, but because I needed something to hold on to. The next day, instead of walking past the convenience store and ignoring it like I always did, I went in. My heart was pounding. I picked 5 numbers: 03, 14, 27, 35, 41. They weren't special dates. They weren't lucky numbers. They were just numbers that in that moment felt right to me. And for the Powerball, 12. I paid the $2 for the basic ticket and tucked it in my wallet. But here's where it was different. Instead of getting anxious waiting for the results, I started practicing what the video taught. Every day when I woke up, I'd stop for 5 minutes, at least 3 times a day, and feel what it would be like to be someone who already had abundance. I didn't visualize elaborate scenarios. I just felt the sensation of lightness, of freedom, of not having that weight on my chest. I started small. At work, instead of accepting everything silently, I started speaking up. When Richard tried to dump more last-minute work on me, I took a deep breath and said, "I'll need to reorganize my priorities. Which of these is most urgent?" He was surprised. I was surprised at myself. A week later, Juliana came to talk to me. "You seem different, more light, you know?" I hadn't told anyone about the ticket or what I was practicing, but something was changing. I noticed it in the details. The light in my apartment seemed nicer. The train noise didn't bother me as much. My mom called, and for the first time, I didn't feel that tightness in my stomach. I started making choices based on what gave me pleasure. Small things. I bought specialty coffee instead of instant. I went for a walk in the park on Saturday morning instead of staying in bed. I watched a movie I actually wanted to see instead of just whatever was on Netflix. And every time I looked at that ticket in my wallet, I didn't think, "I hope I win." I thought, I chose these numbers. I'm going to shift to the reality where these are the winning numbers. Does this make sense to you? Have you noticed that on days when you wake up with a higher vibration, the day flows more easily? What would it be like to do this consciously and constantly? Choosing the reality you want to access, and thereby living the extraordinary life you've always dreamed of. 2 months passed. My ticket hadn't won, but I kept playing the same numbers every week. Not out of stubbornness, but because something inside me said to keep going. The change in my life was undeniable. I got an offer to move to a different department at the company, with a salary increase. It wasn't my dream job, but it was better. I started going out with friends again. My relationship with my mom improved because I set healthy boundaries. But the lottery? Nothing. But I kept playing without telling anyone. So I wouldn't lower my vibration, because people who don't understand law of attraction, energy, manifestation, and parallel realities don't get it, and might even mock our dreams, which could lower our vibration and disrupt our manifestation process. There was a moment, 3 months after starting all this, when I almost gave up. It was on a Friday, after checking the results and seeing that not a single number had matched. I sat in the kitchen with the ticket in my hand, and the voice of doubt screamed in my head, "You're an idiot. This doesn't work. You're throwing money away." But then I took a deep breath and realized something important. I was already winning. My life had completely changed. I was a different person, stronger, more centered, happier. And it was exactly in that moment of genuine acceptance, when I truly let go of needing the outcome, that everything changed. The following Wednesday, I bought the ticket as always. Same numbers. But this time, when I handed the money to the clerk, I felt a chill run down my spine. It wasn't anxiety, it was certainty. On Saturday morning, I woke up with a strange sensation. It was like the air was different, denser, more vibrant. I looked in the mirror and my face was radiant in a way that had no physical explanation. I hadn't slept exceptionally well. I hadn't done skincare, but I was glowing. I grabbed my phone and checked the results while having coffee. 14, 27, 35, 41, Powerball, 12. My fingers trembled. I went back to the screen where I'd photographed my ticket. I checked number by number, once, twice, 3 times, all 6 numbers. The sound of the mug falling to the floor and shattering seemed to come from another dimension. My heart raced. My legs gave out and I sat on the kitchen floor, surrounded by ceramic shards, staring at my phone screen, unable to process it. $36 million. I didn't scream. Didn't jump. I just sat there on the floor and started crying. But these weren't tears of relief or hysteria. They were tears of recognition. I knew this was going to happen. Not on a logical level, but somewhere deep inside me. I'd been living this reality for months. Claiming the prize was surreal. Documents, signatures, camera flashes, questions. But what nobody expected, not even me, was what would happen next. A week after receiving the prize, I got a call from an unknown number. It was a lawyer. My heart froze, thinking it was some problem with the money. Ms. Sarah, I'm calling on behalf of the estate of Mr. Henry Morrison. It took me a few seconds to process. Henry Morrison was the owner of the dog that barked every night, my thin-walled neighbor, the grumpy old man I'd never seen because he was a recluse. He passed away 2 weeks ago, the lawyer continued, and he left a letter for you. Along with it, a donation. I went to the office completely confused. The lawyer handed me a yellowed envelope. With trembling hands, I opened it. Sarah, forgive the dog for the barking. He was my only companion after my wife died. I heard you crying through the wall. Heard your phone conversations with your mother. Heard when you laughed alone watching something funny. I also heard when you started to change. When you started singing in the shower. When you started talking on the phone with excitement instead of despair. I don't know what happened in your life, but you gave me hope. You made me believe that change is possible. I'm leaving you $200,000. Use it to keep shining, Henry. Tears streamed down my face. That man I'd never met, whom I only heard through the wall, had been a silent witness to my transformation. He had felt the shift in my life's frequency, and then I understood. The real wealth wasn't the lottery money. It was realizing that my vibration had impacted someone I didn't even know was paying attention. It was knowing that by changing my reality, I had inspired another person. I used Henry's money to create a social project, teaching financial education and personal development to women in vulnerable situations. The lottery money? Invested, traveling, living, but above all, continuing to follow my excitement every single day. Because in the end, I didn't win $36 million in the lottery by luck. I chose a reality where I was abundant, prosperous, and victorious. And then I lived in that reality until it became physical. Today, when I look back, I understand that everything the video taught was true. We shift realities billions of times per second. The question is, which reality are you choosing to shift into? Every time you complain about your life, you move into a reality of more complaints. Every time you choose gratitude, even for small things, you move into a reality of more abundance. Every time you feel like a winner before winning physically, you exponentially increase the probability of winning. It wasn't one-day visualization. It was consistency. It was choosing every single day to feel different. It was following my excitement in small things. It was treating each choice as a chance to move into a better reality. You can do the same. It doesn't have to be the lottery. It could be a better job, a healthy relationship, health, inner peace. The principle is the same. Choose the reality you want and live in it vibrationally before it manifests physically. The mirror will take a few seconds to reflect the change. But if you stay firm in the new frequency, the reflection will have to follow. If this story touched you in any way, if something inside you awakened, I need you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Stories and transformation tools like these are shared here regularly, tools that changed my life and many others. Second, leave your like, or, if you really felt this story, give this video a boost. YouTube allows you to do this on only a few special videos, so save it for the ones that truly impacted you. Third, share this with someone who needs to hear it. That friend who's at rock bottom, that cousin who's giving up on their dreams. Your vibration can be the bridge to someone else's transformation, just like old Henry was a silent witness to mine. Leave in the comments. In which area of your life are you going to start practicing this today? We'll read and respond to all of them. And remember, you don't need to guess the future. You need to choose it. Sending love to your heart. See you in the next reality.